Okay, here's another video. Again, I'm making these videos for people that are trying to put a car together and they don't, and they don't know what goes where, because I didn't know. So, again, I said this before, but I bought this car because I wanted the project, and it came with like 3 truckloads of parts. But they came off all different cars, and I had never worked on one of these cars before, and so I had to figure it all out. But so this is really about the headlights. The way this came is just like it is, except these weren't in here. These were part of the parts, and I have more of them. But these are the gold ones I know, and I know this is a special edition. So I'm going to show you how to put this together. And it took me a while to figure it out because I couldn't find first of all, I don't know anybody that has a Trans Am because I moved up to Washington, so I don't know anybody. And they don't have Trans Am shows around here. But anyway, I'm gonna jump around, I'm gonna mumble, I'm just gonna be who I am. And it's not that easy to shoot this video because it just isn't. So anyway, just to go over this, there was this. Let's see, I think this piece was missing, so I made a piece out of fiberglass. And now I'm going to zoom in and show you what if you buy this car, if you're putting together a Trans Am or a Firebird, and it has this type of nose, and it's a 76. I can't speak of any other years because who knows the little pieces that have changed. But first of all, if you get this, I'm going to zoom in on here. I'll show you what you got to have that I cannot find that they sell. So you'd have to make this piece. Give me a second to zoom in. It's on a tripod, isn't that easy? Hopefully that focuses. Let me go move the camera closer. Try to get focus. Okay, so this is just to show. You can see this piece right here and this piece right here, they're riveted in. So it's a piece of plastic. Those 2 pieces you gotta have. Those are how you adjust the headlights. Those are right there is a slot that screws in. So if you don't have these, you're gonna have to make something like that. And then, again, it's hard to make this video. This is one of the more difficult ones to explain. So now I'm going to just, without turning the camera off, I'm going to show you the parts you need. Swallow some dust. So with all the parts I found that I had 2 of these. Later on I found out I had 2 of these. And I went to the junkyard and I found a light bulb in the back seat of a car. That's all I knew about how to put this together. Now there is a diagram. Let me see, I gotta put my glasses on. If you look through the manuals, it looks like that. The problem with putting cars together from manuals, I mean, they give you a general idea, but like, there's a bucket here. I can't see the bucket there. in the background, those black pieces. There's a spring here. I can't see where how that spring hooks on. So I'm going to show you all this little stuff that I had to figure out. So there's two of these. There's a left and a right. So make sure you get a left and a right. So basically they go like this. This is the driver's side, this is the passenger side. It's longer to the inside of the car. So it's long here, longer, that's the left and right. You need two of these rings. Now again, they sell different rings, but for this car, again, this is a 7-inch light bulb, so this is 7-inch. But it needs to be, that's like 9/16 thick. You need two of those. You need two of these buckets that look like that. See the big hole and the small hole? They're interchangeable. Now you can get these at I can't remember the name of it, hang on. It's right in front of me. When you get old, you can't remember things as good. So anyway, Classic Industries. So this bucket, these two buckets from Classic Industries, part number is 5964577. Then they have they call it an adjusting hardware set, K7934, which is 4 of these with this little black piece, one for each one. So you need those. Let me put these out of the way. Again, I'm not totally prepared for this video. I don't care how hard you try. It's hard to get fully prepared, but then you're going to need six screws, just sheet metal screws. I don't know where they went, they're around here somewhere. And you're going to need two screws that go through here. Now the problem, and I'll go into the problems with all this, but anyway, you need those parts. And when you get this kit, it's 4 of these with 4 of those. This is for a different year. You don't need that. Again, you can't tell by the diagram, and they don't tell you Classic Industries, and I got nobody to ask, but I figured it out. So 4 of these. Now these have rings on them. Let me see if I can do a close-up. I think you can see that. There's a little notch in there. So those are going to slip in here. And they don't just go right in, you got to kind of beat them in. And I'll go into that more later, but what I found out is make it so you can take them out. A tight fit, but where you can get them out. And then the springs, I guess that was part of that same kit number. I had to stretch the spring 1 inch. And I'll try to explain that later, but I'm starting to drop stuff too. I think it's this numb thumb. So my suggestion is you stretch these 1 inch. Just put them in a vise, heat it up with a propane torch and just pull it. So you want them 1 inch longer, and bend the hook so it kind of looks like that. You want a hook on there. I mean, there already is a hook, but you want it more of a hook. And you need 2 bulbs, 7-inch. These are Sylvania halogen. I think these were came back in the 70s. And those are number the Sylvania H6024. I got the box up here. So those are the parts. So I don't think I'm going to put this together, but I'm going to show you how it goes together. And I'm going to walk back and forth to get parts because there just isn't enough room. And I'm just going to do the passenger side. I better get this. I'll get the spring too. Now this spring, you see that square end? That's the back side, the opposite side. So this spring is going to go through this hole right here. Now I'll roll it over to show you how it goes. So this spacing here is just the right thickness. So you just kind of push down. Like that. Same on both sides. Try to stay out of the way of the camera. Now, this is going to be up. First of all, notice that there's 3 of these tabs. You're only going to use 2 of them, but since it's universal, I believe you're going to use this one and this one on the driver's side, and this one on this side. So the way that this goes in, and I don't know if I'm going to hook the spring up, but the spring hooks up right there. So what you're going to do, you're going to put 2 of these on here, like that. Again, I know they go on this side because those pieces I showed in the very beginning of the video are right here and here. These are the adjusting screws. So screw those. Again, this goes up. So screw those all the way in. Okay. So now you have that all the way in to start. We just take these off. So this is in, and that little slot right there, you notice there's 2 slots because one's going to be for the opposite side. So you're going to put this in. I guess it'd be more realistic if I show. Let me get the pliers. So you screw it all, put that all the way in with the 2 adjustment screws, and reach around here. I'm moving it so you can see what I'm doing. And you're going to pull that out. And it's going to hook on like that. Okay? Maybe I'm blocking the way. Let me move the camera a little bit. So I don't know if you saw that, but again, this goes like that. You pull the spring out, you hook it on here. Again, I don't know if you saw it, so I'm just going to do it again. Now, if you leave, well, I'm not going to get into that, but anyway, you're going to pull this out and it's going to hook right there. Right in that tab. Now, the reason I stretched it because I had to pull it just to hook it up. I mean, it would have broke off these tabs in the back from the pressure. So that's plenty tight enough. So now you got this in. Maybe at the end I'll put all this together and I'll show you what it looks like together. So you have this. That's in. So these bulbs that I'm talking about, and I'm sure you can maybe use other bulbs, but there's slots in here. 1, 2, 3 slots. And again, it says Sylvania halogen, so that the writing goes so you can read it, not upside down. So it drops in. It's dropping into this slot. So this can is already screwed in. Again, the big hole's up here. This ring is going to go on. Like that, and there's 3 holes. There's 3 holes. 1, 2, 3. So this can only go on one way. So make sure all you gotta do is line up so all the holes line up. So that way right there. Let's see that. For instance, that way right there, it's not lined up. So you just turn this till it does line up. So that's correct. So now you have that in there. So this, let me see where I am again. I keep forgetting. That's the hard thing about shooting cameras. You can't see where you are. So just let me just do it off the car. So that's going to look like that. So this is going to slip in like that. Now the reason I'm saying that, I mean it's obvious, but when I first put it together it wasn't obvious. there's a stop here, a stop here. There's a stop here and a stop here. So make sure when you put this together, that's all the way in. For instance, if your adjusting screws are out too far, this thing won't be all the way tight. Now, the one thing that's missing that I did, that they don't sell, at least I don't know where they sell them. You see this clip here? I call them U-clips. I use them on fenders and stuff. There should be one of these on each one of these tabs. Which will hold this screw in here. Well, I don't have four of them. I didn't have any. In fact, I wasn't. I just looked at the rust spot on there, and I think that's what was on there. But I only have two. But I got. Anyway, I only have two. So I'm just gonna epoxy a nut on the back of that. Like this. Man, I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. I haven't done it yet. I'll probably put a washer and that on top. I'll probably put this in. Put this through the slot. Screw it on so it's tight, then just put epoxy around it. That way I know I'll have alignment. Now one of the problems was I could not find a screw that the right size head that will fit inside of here. But in the perfect world, you're going to find the clips that look like this. You're going to put one here, and two over there. Then you're going to find the right size bolt long enough with the right size head that fits in there. See, these are too big. The head is too big. Again, I'm just discussing the problems, and you can find your own solutions. So you can find the right size head with the right length bolt that'll screw into the right size hole, which this is actually too big. The bigger the bolt, the bigger the head. That's the issue. So I'm just going to make it work. My making it work is I'm not going to use these because I don't have them. I don't know where to get them. I'm going to just grind around the edges and get it smaller so it'll fit in this hole, which is really stupid, but I don't know how else to do it. And that's how it goes together. I mean, you're going to be a lot better off than where I was, because I had no idea how any of this went together. Once you see it like this, it's pretty obvious. But man, I didn't know what that hole was for. I didn't know the spring went in there. And again, I'm assuming the spring goes in there because it fits. I mean, what else would that hole be for? And the back of the spring fits perfect. So I'm like 99.9% positive it goes there. Now again, if you're watching my videos, I'm sure I have some subscribers. I keep jumping around, and Here's the reason. I mean, another reason is that I think about how these things might go together, and then I order some parts. But once I get the parts, I want to stop and see if the parts I got are right, and then I'll put it together, and I can always take it apart again. But just parts that I order and I leave in a box, you forget you even have them. And then it might be 3 months later where you want to put it together and you go, oh shit, I got the wrong parts. So that's why I keep jumping around. So I wanted to put the doors and windows together, but I stopped because I got this little kit. And then I decided, like I said, I don't want parts just all over the place. I'm just going to figure this out, bolt it together, leave the parts in there, and when the time comes, I'll just take it apart. And as for this, if you're interested, I got an earlier video that shows how I had to fix the back of this. Because again, this is fiberglass, this is aluminum, this is, I don't know, thin sheet metal steel, this is steel. But anyway, that's kind of going off subject. And then when it comes time to put this on, I'll make another video. Because when I bought the car, it was on, but it was just like hanging on, and a lot of the pieces in the back were missing and broken. And so, I guess the last part of this. I guess I'm a kind of person that doesn't like to give up on anything. I'd rather suffer through it. Because there's satisfaction when you get past it. But I think you can buy these new. But the problem is if you buy one new, it's like everything aftermarket. It might be right, it might not. It might be a little bit, it might be a half inch bigger, or who knows. And then even if you do buy this, you still got to buy all these other parts. So to me, I just fix what I have because I know it fits, because I know it's a factory piece. And that's why I spend a lot of time fixing stuff, because the aftermarket stuff just isn't right. Oh, one last thing. On the back of these, there's two notches, and I was wondering what's the reason that they have these notches? Well, there's a notch. It's because the spring is going to go. Let me get another spring. I mean, I already showed you, but when this is on here, it sets off. So the spring, that's why I say bend it, a hook on it. Let's see, do I have this right? Oh. Anyway, the point I'm getting at, it gives room for the spring to get in there. But I even had to notch a little bit more, and I don't know why, because the spring is over here, not in the center. Again, the reason I make these videos is because I had such a tough time putting this car together. It's a major accomplishment every time I figure something out. and anybody else that's stuck in the same boat. I could not find any videos or any explanations of how this really went together. You saw the diagram, it's not clear. Well, now you know. Maybe you don't do this for 10 years. Maybe you never do it. But if you do it, that's how it goes. Dragonfly just flew in. So I'm working right here, that's outside. Oh man, that dragonfly just buzzed my head. Okay, so I ground the heads down on these 832 screws so they fit in the hole. I mean, I feel kind of stupid doing it, but I didn't know what else to do. And now I'm just going to put epoxy around it. I mean, I don't know what else to do. Metal the fiberglass. I'll put like a little hose on the end of this so I won't screw up the threads, and just put epoxy all around it. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Okay, it's the next day. And I epoxied these nuts in because I don't know what else to do, like I was saying. There's a nut there. Anyway, there's one there, and there. And those are for these screws. So next video, next picture to end this, I'll have this all together. We'll put it all together and then just put it aside for now and get back to the windows. I finished the other door. After I was working on this yesterday, I got the other lock set in, all the parts. But then I noticed something. Right across here is flat. This is right. I don't know if I fixed this or not. I can't remember now. But so I just put a little form here. I just got to put in this. If you're going to do deep Bondo, use this fiberglass stuff. I don't know if you can see that. If you have a corner to kind of stick it in so it'll adhere good. So I put some in, but I didn't have a form, so I gotta do it one more time. I just couldn't put it together. I was getting ready to, but you can see my form. Just a piece of like a piece of cardboard. Again, if you're not perfect, if you're a little bit high, you can always stand down. It's better to go a little bit high. Now I don't know what goes there until the car goes together, but I know I don't want a hole right there, so I want it to look like that over there. have to zoom over there. That's it. I just thought I'd throw this in. I mean, this is what I've learned. If you get once your Bondo starts setting up, stop, because if you try to use that stuff when it's setting up, it won't adhere. It'll just be pieces that you gotta like dig out. Cause I mean, I knew that, but I put in a piece right here, and it was like rubber. It didn't stick to anything, so I dug out everything that was loose. Again, at the last second, I go, man, I gotta fill this up. But you can't. So if you mix too much Bondo, you're just shit out of luck. Throw it away. As soon as it starts setting up, toss it. And stop moving it around. No, heck. This thing is great. Just take the paper out, throw it away. But this stuff, you know, it's so thick. You want to get in weird angles. I think a finger works the best. And you can stuff it into any crevices. So that's what you're going to need. So what I just want is I want it flat. Sticky. Like I said, I'd rather have it high. Good. And then just stop messing with it. It's going to set up any second. Stuff sets up fast. Well, it depends on how much hardener. But again, what I like about these is you just this is one of the greatest things. It's like thick wax paper. Anyway, I'm not going to show any more of this. I always say that, but this is just a weird situation trying to make this whole damn thing work, like everything else. 60 seconds later, stuff is hard as a rock. Not as hard as a rock, but it's pretty hard. So I'll just let this piece stay for now. I'm not going to mess with this anymore. I'm going to let it set up good till tomorrow or Monday. It's Friday. I'll go work on the windows or something. It's plenty, about an 1/8 of an inch high.